Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Iris, and on my channel I talk about awakening to our expanding consciousness, relationships, and of course self-love. And today I want to talk about being an empath, signs that you are an empath. Now, the being an empath means that you have the ability to sense and understand the emotions of others, and you are able to step into feeling how that other person feels. And to the unawakened, unaware empath, they can really struggle with this. So I'm going to share some tips that lets you know that you are an empath. And if you're watching this video and you're even curious about this video, I'm guessing that you are an empath. But here are some signs that you are an empath. So the first one is being emotionally intuitive. And what that means is you have the ability to tap into the body language and the nuances of how people are posturing and positioning themselves. So if you've ever gone into, let's say, a coffee shop, and you just observe people while they're sitting there, and you can just sense by their body language how they're feeling, or what emotion they're feeling in that moment. You might see somebody looking out the window, and you can just pick up on their body language and the emotion that they're feeling. You are like an emotional sponge. You just kind of absorb all of that. Okay, so you're emotionally intuitive that way, and you have the ability to pick up on people's body language and their energy. Another example is if you're out at a grocery store and you're in that lineup and you're watching that person that is checking you out, you can observe their body language and their energy, and you already know whether or not they're having a great day or they're having a really crappy day just by their body language. So that is one sign that you are likely an empath. I think probably the biggest sign of all of being an empath is that you are super sensitive. You're sensitive to emotions, you're sensitive to feelings. You're always doing emotional work. You might cry through movies. I'm a highly sensitive person. I've always been highly sensitive. I have always picked up on, I have the ability, and maybe you do too, is to actually feel the emotions of others. And this is what makes us an emotional sponge as well, is that you have that ability. So for example, I was watching a movie one time with an ex-partner, and it was Pete's Dragon. And I was so connected to the emotion of Elliot in Pete's Dragon. I mean, it was a cartoon, but at one time, like I was just snipping over on the other couch, and my partner looked over at me and he said, like, "Are you crying?" And it's like, and I couldn't help it. I was just like, I had tears streaming down my face, but I was so connected to that character and the pain that he was going through, and following him on his journey as if I was there with him on that. Like, I was there, I was Elliot in that movie, and really being able to connect to his whole story and his pain, and even of his healing as well. You might also experience this in at weddings, that you emotionally connect to the love and the joy that two people share with each other, and you connect to that, and then your sensitivity, and your ability just to feel that is overflowing, and you find that you're like bawling through the entire ceremony, and your makeup's running all down your face, right? And so that is your supercharged sensitivity. And some people can't understand, why you're emotional and sensitive that way, but it's actually a gift. Okay, another sign is, along with being an empath comes the intuitive piece, right? So on one hand, we can tap into the feelings and emotions and the energy, right? And energy is another really important thing. Being an empath is that you can pick up the energy of when there's danger around, or when something is off, and it's not, you shouldn't go there. And it's like, sometimes it's like you hit that wall and you go, nope, that is not for me. Run away fast as you can. And I had this a similar experience many years ago. I did a lot of marathon running many years ago, and I was doing a training run, and I was running at a local park, and I had crossed the bridge and I'd gone down this path. And as I was going down this path, the path was narrowing, and I got to the end of the path, and I could see that there was still a path there. And all of a sudden, every single hair on the back of my neck stood up, and it's like I hit that wall, and I stopped instantly, and I became so afraid, and I turned around and I ran the other way. It is that intuitive sense and that intuitive ability to sense that danger. You might also sense this in people. Sometimes you come across people and you think, there's just something about that person, right? That is just not good. They just don't have good energy about them. And you just like, okay, you know what? Get me out of here. I'm like, no, 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 right? I'm out, right? So you, as an empath, and tapping into your intuitive, highly acute intuitive ability, is going to be able to pick up on what is not for you, and to sense that danger. Another tip is that because of your sensitivity, you can become very overwhelmed being in large crowds. Like if you go to watch a hockey game or a football game, and you're in the crowd, you can become so immersed in the energy of what's going on around. It could actually be a little bit overwhelming for you, and you feel like such a little small person in this big arena, and that could be very overwhelming for you. Another sign that you're a highly intuitive empath is that negative people, they seem to gravitate towards you, because your heart is so wide open, right? And those negative people want to feed off your positivity and your love. But if you've ever been around people, they're like, in the spiritual world, they're called energy vampires. And that's I don't look at people as being good or bad. They're in that process of evolving to their own consciousness and greater awareness of who they are, right? So they're not bad, but those negative people will have the ability to sense your big open heart, and they'll glom onto you, and it's like they spew their stuff all over you. And you, being an empath and being able to connect emotionally, you actually can step into their shoes, feel their emotion, feel their pain, and then you sit there and you listen to them and you absorb all that stuff. And then you leave the conversation and go, oh my God, I'm so exhausted. Sound like you? Okay. So the other part of this that is really, really important, and I do talk about relationships on this channel. And this is one very key thing that I want to say about an empath. Because an empath has that big old, not big old, big huge heart and has the ability to sense the emotion of other people, we want to help other people. We want to help people feel good. We want them to feel better. And we want to show them the way, and we want to bring love and light into this person's life. What happens without the proper tools is that an empath can oftentimes find themselves in unhealthy relationships, relationships with narcissists, abusive people, and of course there's varying degrees, and or even emotionally unavailable relationships. And the thing about that is we feel into the other person's emotion and into their pain, and we want to help, and we tend to overgive too much of ourselves to try and help them. And we also absorb their pain as being our own. And we have a hard time differentiating between what emotion belongs to us and what belongs to those people, to the other person. And this is really important too, is because as an empath and being able to put yourself into another person's shoes and feel their emotion and feel their pain, it's often difficult for, in this situation, to actually break off from the relationship because of the dynamics of this relationship. I have some videos on that as well, and I'll leave a link below this video as well. You'll probably see something pop up here shortly as well. You have a hard time breaking off that relationship because, not because of your own pain, but because of the pain that the other person is going to feel. So that is another sign that you are highly empathic and intuitive. And lastly, just to wrap this up, is that when you have been around so many people and you have given so much of yourself and absorbed all of that energy, you really feel the need to have some alone time where you can shut out the world, shut off any social media, just be quiet, just be in your space. And for a lot of unaware to their empathic gift, is what they want to do is they just want to sleep. They need sleep just to rest and recharge. So if any or all of these signs resonate with you, you are definitely an empath. Welcome to the world of being a highly sensitive, intuitive empath. Never look as your sensitivity as being a shortcoming in your life. I know that a lot of sensitive people and a lot of empaths, they've really had a bum rap because people don't understand how we could be so sensitive and be so emotional. It's actually a gift to the world because you are here to spread your love and your light and your empathy and compassion for the human race, our planet, the animals on our planet. You are here to spread your love and light into the world. You just need some tools, understand who you are, what your gift is, and have tools available to you so that you can ground your energy and protect yourself from what belongs to you and what belongs to another person and the environment. And I am going to be, in my next video, I'm going to share with you some tips on how you can start to adopt some of those tools yourself so that you can actually be in the world and not feel so emotionally drained and find yourself in unhealthy relationships that that really wear on your emotion and your emotional body. So I hope that you have resonated with this video. If you have, leave a comment below, subscribe, like, share, and I'm sending you so much love and light and blessings until I see you again. Take good care. Bye.